Welcome to Mute to Make You Think. Welcome back, everyone, family. Greetings, 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 greetings. I want to give honor and glory to the Most High. Hallelujah. Today, family, what I'm going to bring forth is a matter of to make you think. I'm going to give actual accounts of two different videos, which will bring us to understand so much of why the Akans, the Ashanti, which once called the Egyptians, and the Israelites, what all have in common, what all they have in common. Very interesting, because it's been probably about, I want to say, under a year that I have been kind of sort of directed in the path to research this a little further, to see how the connecting dots, and through prayer and, I have fasted and asked the Most High to open up pathways for me to understand more of what this really all means. What does it all mean? What is the barrier between us all is the language. We see so much of somewhat of what I say, the customs, but the language barrier, how when we were all divided, scattered to the four corners of the earth due to slavery, we became divided by our language. But they want to, ones want to say, well, this was because of the whole thing dealing with, when the language were given to certain people, when it was a split, which speaks of in the Bible about Babel, about the whole thing of one's trying to get to heaven by building a towers or different things to try to get to what is said to rise above the Most High, and how our language got separated or divided or all, was directed going different areas of the earth. But what it did for us in slavery was that we were stripped away from our customs, our language, our names, which all meant something about who we were, who we belong to, in the sense of your tribes or your clans. We were stripped of that. So I'm going to share this first video, and I did share the link in the description in reference to this whole, in reference to this. So the first one is the Ashanti tells their part of the story. And I want to say it's Utrecht. And this is where they're sitting down at a table, and I'm assuming that they're bringing different ones who have questions. So the queen is there from the Netherlands of the Ashanti. Also, the head chief is there. And then there's another brother who was actually speaking throughout this. And he'll share his name and all that. Then they're going to answer questions or so much and give the history. But don't be taken back by what this brother says, because you may say this can't not be. Well, family, I'm coming to find out that this is becoming like a full circle of who we are, and how we going to get back is actually by exploring in the sense of seeking and going forth to understand that we are more so the same people than separate. I just said yesterday in the video that I feel as though there was a line drawn in the sand by the Most High who divided us. And we thinking that color is something that is a social construct that just came, that which, dividing the races. No, it divided his people so much from the other nations. No matter where a melanated dark person will go, they are being treated or could be treated a certain way because the color of their skin, not the content of their character or anything. It's the color of their skin. And how else could this be set up to be able to work in this magnitude? Only by the Most High, divine powers. And it was done for a reason. So let's listen out to this brother. And the next one I'm going to bring about the ancient Egyptians were Akans. And this is by Opanin Osei. Osei is Osei, and explain the different things when it comes to language. With the linguistic, I can never say that word. It speaks about the language. If I think too hard to say it, I won't get it right. So we're going to leave that right there, but y'all know where I'm coming from. So let's move forward. Okay. Okay, I'm not going to play the entire video, but what it will do, if it start buffing, then I will then, come forth. But I just have some landmarks here on here. I will share it. Let's see here. One moment. So we're going to start about starting off about 1 hour and 22 minutes in. Let me just get this set up for you all. One moment.
They fix a date, and they would dress the girl like the way our queen is dressed, and they will put her on the public place. So the man will come and dance around all those places to have a look at the woman. So who is interested will go and pass through the right channel and solicit love from that girl. The reason why they do that is they want to know if the man is a responsible man who can take care of the woman. They want to know if the man is somebody who is not a criminal, that he will give birth to the child today and tomorrow you will not find him. They want to know if the man is somebody who is not coming to steal from them to disgrace the family of the girl and the children. So after all these things are done, then they will make a day for the marriage. And then that is one about marriage in Ashanti culture. About our funeral, we believe that the dead lives. We believe in the spirit of the dead people. So when somebody dies, we know that he is going to the ancestral world. So before we bury the person, we perform rituals and talk to the dead body that when he is gone, he should come back and bless the living with this or with that. If there are some calamities or a lot of misfortunes in the house, we will talk to the dead body to take all those things away. About inheritance, when somebody dies, then he can pinpoint who should inherit him. And the inheritance should come from the blood lineage. We Ashantis believe in matrilineal system of inheritance from the mother side. You don't inherit from the father side. These are the similarities proving the Jewish lineage of the Ashantis. We have a culture to prove that we are Jews. People have changed the story in a lot of ways, but we know that we are Jews. That is why I said that we have direct contact with God because of what we do, not because of Christianity and all these churches, Muslim churches where people are.
So as you hear there, this is actually one from the Ashanti kingdom and speaking as knowing who they are. Okay. In this segment here, it's not going to touch much on speaking about the Egyptians, but in the next video, I will share with you all with that. But it ties into how we know so much of who we are as our in our customs is that our customs are shown through what was passed down in oral generation, meaning that whenever ones do like the DNA test, it actually links them to where our customs are at and who we are. So not only is given us through the DNA and through our, far as our customs, it also supernaturally has been given to us spiritually that, link us to the book, which is the Bible that is compiled of many different books. So that's how and for one, connecting all the dots there about the Bible, about the visitation I've had in reference to letting us, know who we are. Others have had, dreams, visions, and things in America, and also I want to say on the continent as well, of different things of letting us know. But we are tied to the book, the Bible, which is, so much that we haven't came outside of it to see how we all really connect and who we are as one people accordingly. So let's continue to hear what else he has to say.
Talking about spiritism and
And let
life.
me just recall, if you just coming in, you may missed it, but he said that we are Jews. So in so many ways, what he's saying is that we are the people of the Bible. We are the people of the Bible. You're going to hear him go more so in this mode.
I am looking for money, but we believe direct contact with God in the sense that in the olden days, when we have problems, there is a tree we call Namibia, that is God's tree. We put the tree like this, and put calabash. But we only cut the Namibia with 3 branches. Then we put the calabash on top of it, and we take water directly from heaven in the calabash. So if there is any calamity like death or sicknesses or anything, the people will go and sit under the tree and recite incantations to the Most High God. And they could do that, and you see the rainbow as a sign. And they will say that, which means they are looking through the heavens.
So you heard what he just said about the rainbow. So what was given to us in the Bible, that the rainbow was a promise that we will not actually see flood that will come upon the earth as flooding out the whole earth. So people who see floods today, they say, well, it's not over the whole earth, it's just in certain areas. So these are things that, far as what I feel, the direction that I could be going in, as starting up an organization and do far as have researchers to come to a place where we could meet up with ones from the continent of Africa, whether it's via Skype or which we could actually do different ways to communicate, Zoom and so forth. Is that we could get to the root of, well, what is your understanding by being passed down in generations about the actual, when we say the rainbow, okay? What we were under, in so many ways, the impression that the Israelites, the way how they came by the way of how we fled from the land of Israel, which is called Levant, and we went into Africa. We blended in very well because of what the storyline that was told about Jesus going into Africa, and blended well about our forefathers, Jacob, first Joseph going in, and Moses and so forth, and they looked just like the Egyptians, that they fit right in, they blend very well in. But what we're finding out to be, family, is some parts of what one say, well, we came from Spain, or we came from Italy, or we came from Portugal into Africa, and then we was there until the slave ships came, which was like almost 1,500 years later. Well, that could be some truth to that too as well. But the point of the matter is that we was told a storyline that the ones that who are the Egyptians were our enemies, and they the one enslaved us. But this brother at this point is not going to bring up forth that about the Egyptians, but I will take you to another video. And that's not the only point that I actually heard. I've heard several different people have spoke along the way and saying that the Egyptians are the Akans. The Akans are, which Ashanti is an extension of the Akans. When I say extension, meaning that it's like what I want to, let me get that directly here. So the Ashanti is are part of the Akan ethnic group and are natives to Ashanti region of modern day Ghana. Okay, so some people spell Ashanti as Ashanti, and some people spell it Asante. And a lot of times, to throw us off, even with the word Ghana, you're going to hear in the next video that's not even the way how you're supposed to pronounce it, but the Europeans pronounce it Ghana, and it remained that. You're going to hear something in the next video that's going to say, wow, wait a minute, through one's coming forth and speaking about the language and how it connects to how things can get changed up as you move along, even on the continent. Different pronunciation of different of certain words may be different on the east versus the west or central, but it's basically it's the same thing. And the only way I could really put this out there is for us to follow what we have, the customs, and to follow our what, because the custom lines up with our statutes and laws, and then which the whole thing that I'm getting and understanding about us being morally, where we would have morals, that we will be righteous, we will be pure in our heart to do things what is right. And then when the DNA came about, which, people may say, well, how's that has anything to do with the Most High? Well, the Most High is in control of every aspect of all things on this earth. So the DNA, it was another way, a window for when, there are ones that did the DNA, they linked to whatever, groups of within Africa where that DNA has, matched them up with according to their genetics. So when you follow the genetics and follow the customs and follow, it's every those who are not of that is not going to be doing that. Okay, unless you have some tie into it. And the biblical side of it, it is have it to whereas if you're not an Israelite by blood or even the name surrounding, then who are you? What are you? You're not one of us. But in actuality, family, as this really unfolding, why I have this staying as far as the title here, the Akans, the Ashantis, also speaking of the Israelites and the Egyptian, is because we are, from what I'm seeing and understanding, okay, we are one people. We are the same people. We do have the same bloodline, the same ties, the same cultures. We are, okay. So let's continue to hear more what he has to say.
You see through the rainbow what the Lord is going to do for them. And as we are sitting here today, we the Ashantis have a proverb saying that that if you do good, you don't ask your head. Because as we are sitting here, if somebody comes and he says that we are talking about the king, we can say no, and anybody here can say no because we are not talking about the king. But if you are talking about the king and they come and ask you, why are you talking about another than king? You say, oh, no. We are not talking about the king. It means you are lying. Which means if you don't lie, no fudu, no winti, no obia, nothing can harm you. So we believe in righteousness. That if you are righteous, you are never afraid of where you are going. And we also believe that the truth can lead you to death, because we say that we couldn't edit you, which means that if you mean to speak the truth, a lot of people will not like it, but still we maintain the truth, because it is only the truth that can set you free.
Is all that written in the Bible that you said?
This is written in the Bible, but this is not what I'm saying. Is not about what is written. This is what we and all the Bible you are talking about, because our ancestors believe that we are the first people on earth. Anything that you can read in the Bible is related to our culture. But today is too early to talk about those things. Even the prophecy, I'm telling you that 100 years our prophet said that the white person will come. All those things are written in the Bible.
All those are written in the Bible.
It is too early to talk about that when the website is established. And
so, family, I hope you heard that what he's saying, that the prophets were prophesied to, which Father gave them the leadway to let them know that the white man was coming, and it's written all in the book. So when I say the Bible has a lot of truth to it, and also has a lot of fluff to it as well. So, you want to sit and say, well, Father, why is this? Why we have to go through and decipher what is of you and what is not of you? But family, that's what I'm coming to find out, is that our walk with the Most High and seeking Him, those through that we learned what is truth and what is not truth. Okay, so from what, if you're listening and want to have that open mind, you hear that this Ashanti brother is speaking that we are those people that is in the Bible. We are the people of the book. That connects us with one. which leads me to say that there was at least, I want to say it is at least 5 people that I have done a research on and found out that lives in America who, when they did their DNA test, was linked to a pharaoh of Egypt. But we know that's Egypt is not the name. We're going to come to find out what the true name of that area was at the particular point of time, and why the Bible speaks of it so much.
It's an emancipation group that we want to identify the black power. When we come together, then we start to talk about the spiritual part of us, and then how we can be together. And then when we unite, then you see all the changes. Why they were not able to defeat us. The reason why some of us who are maintaining the lines can feel the same power even after death. Because there are some of us living who have lived more than 3,000 years on earth, and we feel the spirit in us. It is not about these little material things, these cars and these things that you are doing. If you believe it, you become a liar. And then anybody at all can take advantage of you. But if you feel the truth in you, always you are much more stronger. It is time we wake up from our slumber and to bury the differences and to change our mind from little things like metal decorations of new functions and all those things. As the sister said, we have to work hard. We can work hard when you come to our ceremonies. Mr. Glenn was there just 3 weeks ago, so I'm taking the opportunity to invite you to come to help us to build the website. Maybe director knows somebody who can help us to build the website. If you have the website, maybe you stay home. You don't even.
So this is actually back. This video was placed on here in 2015. So it could be way back before that this has happened. So the website that they're speaking of, I pray that I get a chance to connect with that website, and also with these people, which I want to get to a place where, if the Most High allow me to go to Africa, or visit or live, or however the Most High choose to guide and lead me, is that I will be able to meet up with ones with the mindset of bridging the gap, of uniting us in the sense of understanding, bringing more truth, separating the lies from the truth from the lies, because this was a great tool, according to, when we look at it from the worldly sense, that our enemies, ones who have taken our forefathers, love the fact that we are separated, and they knew that the language would separate us. They knew that the distance of location would separate us. But the truth be told is, this was all according to the Most High, what he had given our forefathers of what will happen to us if we weren't obedient, if we weren't righteous, because the commandments is speaking about being righteousness, and that was doing what is morally right. Okay, so let's continue. I'm gonna play this a little bit more, and then I'm gonna go to the front part of the video area there. I want you to hear in reference to where we'll be speaking, naming out, because I came across some information that one say, well, was it 12 tribes or 12 kingdoms? But he's will write out 7 different names, and I don't quite understand it all in all, but I'm going to actually jot those names down too when I get a chance, and then have that as a reference to also. And then, pray that the Most High give me leeway and open up the pathway that I'll be able to ask more questions. But this path, this journey that I am on, is not only for me, it's for, I want to say, the Most High chosen people as well. Okay, for us to get a more understanding.
You need to come to anywhere. You can just chip in, pop, 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 and then you call your son, hey, Glenn, come. And then Glenn will come and sit by you, and Glenn will start to read. Then we'll deal from there. Because when they are dancing to that side, it is time we also have to dance to that side. It is not always that we will sit down and allow them, that we have to feel stupid. They always want us to feel stupid and to think stupid. That is what is going on now. Because always they want to see you all. Look, then even when they are asking, everybody know that 1 + 1 is 2. But when you tell them that 1 + 1 is 2, they still want to add something that 1 + 1 is 2, but they don't want to hear it from your mouth that 1 + 1 is 2.
One note, one book. It's called Linguistics in West Africa. Talk about the connection between the Ashantis and the ancient Hebrews.
What's it called?
The book is called Hebrewism in West Africa.
Yes, and this is the the African heritage, and then we originally we are the Hebrews.
Y'all hear that?
We are the Levites. Even if you read the Bible, we talk about the Levites who had the right to hold the Ark of the Covenant, and nothing was happening to them. But now they have changed the course, and we see ourselves as prophets. We see our originally, but if you are dirty, you can never be that. Because even if you are a king and you don't behave like a king, you are no more a king. You have to be clean. You have to be righteous. You must tell the truth so that you can set the people free. So I'm saying that the spiritual part of it is not what we will talk about today, but the coming together is the most important thing. Because as I said, all these Bibles that they have written, why is it that the Ashanti king is the only person who goes to Buckingham Palace in Britain and is given much more hours to stay with the queen? You can check. Because they learned a lot from us about this democracy that they are talking about. Where did they learn democracy? They learned democracy from us. Because when they came, they saw that before we elect a king, the people